Do you want kids? Why or why not? I've gone back and forth on the idea since I was younger. I'm almost 40, can barely take care of myself financially, and haven't been with anyone since my early 20s. It doesn't matter if I want them or not, it's just never going to happen. Pretty much me right now. I actually want kids, but I'm 38F. I know I can have kids into my 40s, but just like you, I haven't been able to maintain a decent enough relationship, and I've come up due for employment change because I can't seem to remain in a full-time position for more than 2 years, max, and that's with a diploma. I want the opportunity to raise at least one non-asshole as whatever kind of legacy I have to offer the world. But even I know it's looking slimmer and slimmer by the day. Even if you can't have your own kids, if you find yourself in a stable financial position one day, you could look into fostering kids. You can make such an amazingly positive impact on the lives of those who need it most. Yeah, this is kind of where I'm at right now on the question of children. I don't want to have any myself because of family medical history, and even if that weren't the case, I can't morally reconcile, me personally, not judging anyone who feels differently, bringing another human being into this world when there are so many kids already here in need. Adoption isn't in the cards for me right now, though I haven't closed the book on it down the line, but I've been considering fostering more and more lately. I'm single and fairly young, 28, and I've got the means to do it, and lately I've been feeling a bit of a moral obligation as a result. I'm from an incredibly impoverished area that's been hit hard by the opioid epidemic, and so many kids need care/stable housing while their parents work through whatever issues stand in the way of reunification. The shortage of foster parents here has been weighing on me, and I'm torn on what to do. I worry that I'm not the perfect person for the job or perhaps not at the ideal place in life, but then I think about how in whatever time I spend hand-wringing over that, all the while there are kids who need someone. Would honestly really appreciate input from anyone who's been through it, in any capacity. Nope, physically, mentally, and financially not ready for that and probably ever will be. People for the most part ignore the financial responsibility of having a kid. I understood that early and didn't have kids until I could provide for them the way I was taken care of. If you can't afford food, clothing, healthcare, USA, entertainment, education, daycare, it will be extremely difficult to be a good parent. The stress of not being able to provide will make you a bad parent. And your spouse will constantly remind you of that. LOL. Got flamed on Facebook once for saying that kids are a massive burden and should absolutely be planned for. And flew in the young 20-somethings who popped out babies in HS or first couple years of college with baby daddy who didn't have anything to do with them or the kids. Yes. I'm the evil one in this situation. I can barely pay for me, ain't no way I can afford to pay for someone else. I would love to have kids, in the sense that I think I would be a good dad. But I couldn't imagine the financial stress. It already sucks financially trying to live life on your own. It still sucks even if you're sharing your life with another person. Couldn't imagine having to choose between replacing a broken fridge, fixing a broken car, performing maintenance on a home, or having enough money to pay for my kids' school lunch for the month, doctor visits, clothes, school supplies, food, etc. I love kids so much, but I absolutely could not afford them with my $50K salary. I can barely afford my own life. Thank you for considering that. It is saddening how many people have kids and those kids are put straight into poverty. I kinda have sympathy for the poverty family. I personally would never have a kid, so I'm not the kind of person who thinks everyone should have kids. But knowing how easily it is to get trapped in a cycle of poverty in the US, and seeing it growing up really poor myself, I kinda also think it's fucked that because many have been pushed into that situation due to absolutely massive wealth inequality that they should basically be removed from the population in terms of having kids. Like I still fully think you should always aim to have kids when you can care for them. I have started to feel a lot less easy about that as a blanket statement to every situation when many people working their asses off doing full-time jobs aren't able to ever really save money due to crazy cost of living plus lack of wage growth to reflect that. It's starting to feel like quasi-eugenics to tell poor people not to have kids when so many people are stuck there due to systems run by obscenely rich people who corrupted the systems. Plus there's a fuck ton of factors working against many poor people from ever getting out no matter how hard they try. I'm not sure what the really right answer is, TBH. I'm too independent. I like that I can kind of do what I like whenever. I could decide to drive to the coast for the weekend and it's pretty much as easy as getting in the car and going. If I decide to go stargazing at midnight then get up at midday the next day, I don't have to arrange anything. I just can't see myself giving that up. This is what I miss the most. There's no just doing something anymore. I either have to take baby with me, arrange for a sitter or plan with hubby if he can take baby. I love being a mom and I love my baby. I wouldn't change it, but I miss this. I hear you, and I don't doubt that having kids is a wonderful thing that wouldn't be traded for the world for the people that have that life. No, I want tacos instead. Not to be one of those parents, but you honestly have no idea what you're missing out on. Sure, it's satisfying to be able to eat tacos whenever you want, but you have to believe me, it's way more satisfying and fulfilling to eat children. Sure, it's hard at times, but they are just so tender and meaty that they are absolutely delicious. You got me in the first half. The torso? Delicious. No. Because I don't want to have kids. I always tell people it's not that I don't want kids, it's that I've never wanted kids. Those are two vastly different things. I don't want a hamburger because I just ate lunch and am full. I've never wanted to cut my fingers off because it simply never occurred to me that is something I should do. I try to explain it to people like it's a profession. I've never wanted to be a mother in the same way that I've never wanted to be a math teacher. I respect and appreciate math teachers, but I have no desire to become one myself. Edit, sorry for my grim outlook on the world, I didn't realize it would cause so much discourse. I'm so glad you guys can see all the greats and positives amidst the negatives. But I will say, it is my reasoning, and it doesn't have to be yours. Not even a little bit. I have never experienced baby fever, I have never looked at a newborn and said, "Aw, so cute, I can't wait to have one of my own." Or anything like that. I much prefer my lifestyle as it is, and I don't need to go through the physical/mental/emotional stress of pregnancy and then raise a child for the rest of my life. With the state of the world how it is, I wouldn't want to bring a child into it only to see them struggle and suffer. It's so easy to promise a bright future, but to actually fulfill that promise is incredibly difficult. Same. I am always so confused by the baby fever thing, just because it's not something I've ever experienced. I have lots of nieces and nephews and I have loved meeting them for the first time, but never was I like my turn. No. Even if this world was a peaceful utopia, parenthood is too stressful for me to take on. Also, childbirth/pregnancy seem horrendous. I also was always freaked out by the entire process of being pregnant and giving birth. All of it just seems so gross and uncomfortable, and then extremely painful, and then just sleepless nights, responsibility and sacrifice after. I got pregnant once and the morning sickness wasn't just in the morning, it was constant, non-stop, all the time, starting at about week 4 and going until a few days after the abortion in week 7. So months of constant nausea, then something inside you squishing all your organs and pressing on your bladder, getting heavier and heavier and probably causing all sorts of lower back, leg and foot pain, culminating in being ripped open by a screaming creature that then cries all night for the next 6 to 12 months and needs constant attention for at least 6 to 7 years. No thanks. Although I would like kids, women go through a lot during pregnancy, delivery, and even postpartum depression. I just would rather not add extra stress. Maybe I'm just not in the right headspace right now, but I am comfortable with just caring for myself right now. That's where I am. I kinda want kids, but it's not a deal breaker if she says no, and most of that reason is because she has to go through so much more than I do. It's literally dangerous and extremely stressful, not to mention exhausting and painful for a woman to have a child. I just don't think I should hold my opinion over someone in that kind of situation, and I'm fine enough without them anyway. Kids are cool, but the newborn stage seems like it would be the toughest. I know the preteen/teen years are tough too, but the newborn stage just seems tough of having so many sleepless nights. But I know it probably is worth it all in the end, going on to watch them grow up. Please like and subscribe for more daily content.